Hey people, how you doing? Good evening, happy Friday and all that good stuff. I'm not sure we're gonna go with this one, so hold on for the ride. So I've recently come back from a party, a work party. It's the first one I've been to from a particular employer that I'm with, and I've been with the company about 5.5 years now. And the party was to celebrate 10 years of since the company started out. And the company I work for is Haven Power. It's a company in Ipswich where I live. I suppose you say once upon a time, I would have probably described it as a small company in Ipswich. But I found out yesterday, that the company in 10 years, so we supply electricity to businesses. And over the last 10 years, we're a company. Hi Tracy, how you doing? Good evening. Over the last 10 years, I found out we're now a company that turn over 1.6 billion pounds, billion. And before you all jump on, business heads jump on and say, well, how much of that is profit, blah, blah, blah. I just want to, for a company that probably most of you who watch this will not have heard of, or if you have heard of, then you probably work for the company. A small company in Ipswich supplying electricity, where you've got the big six involved. Turning over 1.6 billion is a milestone to be celebrated, and there's been rapid growth in the business. I've been privileged to spend, like I say, the last 5.5 years at the company, and there are bigger and better things to come. So, for that company, it's a journey. It was a journey to get themselves established in the market. Hi, Catherine. How you doing? Hope you're well. It was a challenge for getting themselves established in a market which is dominated by the big six. But times are changing. Times are changing, and there are a lot more less well-known suppliers who people are looking to turn to because they're dissatisfied with the big six and they want to try something different. They want to try. At the end of the day, whether they supply electricity and gas, it's all coming from the same place, pretty much. So it really, the kind of lifeblood of the business is where your customer service is, how you're treating your customers, how you're treating your people. And there are reports that the Big Six in the next few years, and one of the heads of the Big Six actually admitted this, that they're expecting to lose customers because customers know there's an alternative and they want to try something different. They're not happy with the service they've been getting. Some of them will feel like they've just been taken for granted and they want to try something different. But for the company I work for to get to that stage, they've had to like a stake a pole and say, look, we're here for the long term. And there was tough times, there was challenging times, and the business is far from perfect. But one thing I've learned is you don't have to be perfect to run a business. You don't have to be perfect to succeed in life, to have a good life, and that should be reassuring for us all. So who knows what the next 10 years is going to be. There's a change of leader. One of the founders has decided to retire, and that's a great sign of a leader knowing when it's the right time to step aside for the good of the business. As a parent, having a 16-year-old, there's going to be a time I have to change the way I parent my daughter. She now needs to be able to start to take steps to gain independence, and then there will be a time where I have to let her already make her own mistakes and learn, but always know that I'm here for her. She's not the same as when she was free, and me giving her piggybacks and stuff. The parenting style had to change, but the love is still there. So I was just thinking about this myself and my own journey, and something like going to a party. I mean, this is the first party I've been to in 5.5 years I've been in the company, and this is Christmas parties and one-off parties. The first few years I had my two other children being newborn, wanted to stay at home with them, and other times I've been on holiday, what have you. And for this party, it just worked out that the kids are older now. I had some time. I didn't stay for all of it. It's probably still going on now, but I thought it was significant with the 10 years. A few of the directors have stepped down from the business for personal reasons. And I thought 10 years is something to be celebrated for a small company coming out of a small-ish town. So I wanted to be there. But yeah, once upon a time, um, I would have been so fearful of going to parties because with my shyness, um, and I just feared what was I going to say, how do I act, what's the etiquette, and all the rest of it. And I just would have been fearful and just would have probably has stayed with the same people that I knew, people, my work colleagues, and just kept myself to myself as such. But roll on, I mean, I'm 37 now, and I'm talking about when I was really 18, 17, 16. So yeah, next year, nearly, what, 20 years. I can't believe how quick that's gone. But tonight I came to the party and I was mingling with people, I was going around, I was talking to people, making small talk, engaging in conversation, and it felt good and I felt confident about it. And for me, I would never have saw that the person I am now 20 years ago. Just, yeah, if you told me that, I would have, nah, you're talking about a different person. You're talking about a different person. Um, yeah, I was a little bit nervous going to the party and blah blah blah, but just, you know, what I mean, not in a crippling way. And I had a good time. I mixed with different people, engaged, had a bit of fun, had laughter, and when it was time to go, it was time to go. Not like the young ones staying out late and what have you. I had to get home, come and do my Facebook Live, and just really reflect on it. So for my journey, I've taken for where I've been, and the despairs and the struggles, and I know there's people who have gone through far tougher times. Um, it's not about comparing myself. Evening, Nana. How you doing, sir? Good to see you supporting always. Thank you. Um, we all go through troubles. You might have different levels of troubles, but one man's struggles might be another man's bliss. So we all have our struggles. Ah, Mr. Raja, Cad Raja, how you doing, sir? We need to talk. I used to work with Cad at Barclays. He was a business manager, and definitely displayed some entrepreneurial skills. We tried to make a few moves together while I was in Barclays. Yeah, we need to catch up. It'd be good to talk. Um, so yeah, the journey I've taken is just been astounding, and I'm the kind of person who just moves from one thing to the next, and um, don't really look back. And you find with a lot of professional sportsmen, some of them who've got real drive to win. They win a trophy and they have maybe a little celebrations, but it's on to the next thing, it's on to the next thing. They never want to rest on their laurels, and maybe when they retire or look back on their lives, they thought, "Wow, I should achieve that." When they're in the moment, they don't. But I've said this a few times. We don't know when our time. We don't know when our time on this earth is up. This could be my last evening. I just don't know. I take it for granted. I'll wake up, but I just don't know. So I need to. It's good for me to reflect and celebrate how far I've come. I couldn't have done it without God. I couldn't have done it with the stability of my mum and my grandparents and all my family. And there's definitely people who've come into my life for a season, a particular moment in time, who've had a big impact. Sorry, I'm hearing movement in my CAD, Roger. What's this all about? Oh, CAD. I don't know if you've been watching, but for the last maybe 2 months, I've been doing Facebook Live videos, just sharing things that are on my heart, on my mind. I feel like I've got a voice about. This particular one is about enjoying the journey. So people set goals, people set aspirations, and they strive to reach them. Some people reach them, some people don't. But often I feel some people don't take stock or take account where they are on the way on their journey to the ultimate destination, and celebrate that. And I was just saying, I went to a party tonight for my work, and I was mingling, I was having small talk, I was speaking to people, I was engaging with people. Some I work with closely, some with I don't. And you rewind the clock 20 years ago, for me, with my shyness, wouldn't have done that. I would have been fearful of doing that. I would have worried too much about what people thought of me, what am I going to say, how am I going to act. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, recognizing that journey, that progress I've made on myself, and hopefully by sharing this on the video. Um, Cad says his goal is to eat a doner kebab tonight. I haven't had one of those for a few years, Cad. uh, Laughter is important as well. Let's not take ourselves too seriously when we're trying to achieve things. Let's enjoy it. Let's have a bit of a laugh, a bit of a crack along the way. So, Cad has just brought me right down back to earth. I was in my serious mode, Cad. I was in my reflective mode, and you just come messed it up. No, I'm joking, man. I'm joking. So, oh, Tracy, you know what? I forgot about that one. Thank you, Cad. Yeah, I talked a little while ago. I talked about a motorway analogy, where we're all in different lanes in life. In a motorway, you've got a slow, fast, and faster lane, and some of us are in the slow lane, some of us in the fast lane, some of us in the faster lane. Some of us are in the service station, taking a break, big things. No, Cad's got to go. Nah, watch the replay, Cad. Watch me I'm on YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel. Thank you for passing by. It's been a privilege. So yeah, I was just very briefly the motorway analogy. We're all in different lanes in life, but the good thing with the motorway is that you can move in different lane. Life is interchangeable. If you need to take a break, you can stop off. But the thing is, with a motorway, life is always moving forward. Life is always life never goes backwards. Not yet, anyway. Who knows? Now, life is always moving forward. But we're all at different stages in life, and just because you feel in a slow lane and you see someone in the fast lane, you want to be like someone, like you look up to that person. Someone said something to me recently, I think it was Uttam actually. I said how I aspire to be like someone or see someone, and he said rather than saying aspiring or looking up to someone, use the word model. You want to model someone, so you recognize someone, you respect what they're doing, but you want to model certain parts of their behaviors, of their achievements. When you like looking up to someone, just psychologically can be like you will never attain where they're at, or they're higher than you, or you're beneath them, or what you've achieved is less worthy. But modeling someone just puts a little different spin on it. So yeah, tonight I'm just celebrating how the journey I've come and how far I've come to be able to be that extroverted. I'm not talking about shouting from the rooftops, but extroverted in that I can go and speak to someone who I haven't spoken to before. I spoke to someone tonight who I've seen around the office, but never spoken to them before, and got to find out a bit about them. Literally, maybe 5 minutes, and felt fine. Conversation was flowing. I don't know what she thought of me, but do you know what I mean? I wasn't so worried as I used to be in the past that I wouldn't even gone and spoken to that person. And maybe we'll see each other around the office and maybe say hello now. Do you know what I mean? This is what taking people out of the work situation and putting them in a social party situation can do. It can increase employee engagement, or just people being friendly with one another. So yeah, I'm kind of looking back to 20 years next year since I was 18, where really things were tough for me in terms of finding out who I was, feeling unsure, and just that development and journey that's taking place in me. But I typed this video enjoying the journey, so I'm enjoying it. But I know, in one sense, in the business world, or we want to talk it work world, I've played it safe. There's much more within me. I've sat in my comfort zone. Yeah, a couple of times I've come out of it, but really and truly looking at it and taking that external view, I've played it safe. And I'm ready not to play it safe anymore. I'm ready to make some moves, and I'm ready to achieve or set big goals that are not going to be achieved by myself. I'm going to need people to help me. It may not be achieved in my lifetime. So yeah, I'm recognising and giving myself a pat on the back for the journey I've taken so far, and I don't take that lightly. But I know with what I've got and what I've learned and the pains and struggles I've overcome, there's more to come. There's people who can learn or can benefit from the pain I've been through. Tracy's asked, "What's the FSA out of my comfort zone?" Yeah, definitely doing this Facebook Live. But to answer your question, Tracy, I'm in a place where I know I need to get over that thing I have with always striving for excellence, always waiting for things to be perfect because they're never gonna be. And I force myself to do these things, to push myself out there, to take myself out of my comfort zone, to do something which is the second most feared thing in the world, and the first one is death. And sometimes I forget this because the kind of people I've got on my network on Facebook, a lot of them, I say a lot of them, but a significant amount of them do Facebook lives. So I'm always seeing a lot of Facebook lives coming through my feed. So I get the impression, oh, everyone's doing it, but I'm in the minority here. I forget that I do these every day now, Monday to Friday, so it's part of the routine. But I'm in the minority of people who would even dare to do this. So what can I? What can I do this? What can I do for something I'm doing which is in a minority? Shall I do something like what Warren Ryan is doing, which he's taken something that was people fear and saying, look, what are you fearing about that, and helping them to overcome that fear. Why is public speaking so fearful? One reason I believe is because the unknown is not part of our school education. I kind of use the analogy or the example of my son Elijah, 5 years old next week, who's used to seeing himself on video camera. If we keep that up, recording himself, he loves watching himself. Not in an arrogant way, he just loves watching himself. If that carries on when he's older, he'll think nothing of that being on camera. So why? It shouldn't be public speaking. At the end of the day, if you're talking to 3 or 4 people, that's public speaking. Yeah, times up by a few thousand people. Yeah, definitely. Tracy says help people to overcome shyness. That's something I definitely want to do. I want to help people to recognise that being introverted, there's nothing wrong with that, and help them to be extroverted when they need to, because there will be times you need to be extroverted. There will be times you need to sell yourself to someone, whether it's a job interview or starting a new business or what have you. So yeah, I've taken myself this far, and I could sit on my laurels and I could say, okay, I've done something. I'm doing these lives. I've made it. But no, I'm recognizing where I'm happy with what I've done. I'm celebrating what I've done. I'm giving thanks. That's the word I was looking for. I'm giving thanks for where I've come from to where I am now. But there's more to come. There's more to come. I'm fortunate I had people in my life in the working world. I felt like they've always seen something in me. And maybe where I haven't achieved in that particular job or role, they've seen something in me, and I think now I'm starting to see that in myself more and more. And with my Christian faith, I know God's got He's got more in plan for me, and I was just kind of figuring out what that is. But yeah, Tracy's saying yes, young children are fascinated with themselves. It's sad, so sad that we lose that quality. Yes, you're definitely right. There's a lot of things that children do. Children learn to walk. They get down, they get back up, they try again 50 or 100 times. What happens? I believe the education system, state education, pushes that out of them. Parents, the things they say, the things they've been taught. We don't teach our children to dream. We don't teach them to go for things, and it's okay to fail. Yeah, it's really, really sad. It's definitely something I want to change. I want to help be a part of a change, not me doing it by myself. Um, I look at my daughter. She was 5. Sorry, I just lost connection there. Skipping around the place, dancing up and down. Now she's more insecure about herself, but I believe it's the environment that's done that to her. And I feel some responsibility as a parent as well, that she feels that way. It's not uncommon, but I feel like I should have encouraged her more. But there's a lot of stuff I had to unlearn to get myself where I am, and hopefully the lessons I've learned I can pass on to my children. But don't get me wrong, she's doing absolutely fantastic, and I'm very, very, very proud of her. And I've told her that I'm proud of her, and there's more to come from her as well. But I want to use my struggles, the pain I've gone through. So, 2 things. So yeah, I've been through pains, I've been through struggle, but life is good for me right now. I've got a beautiful wife, I've got beautiful children. I work in a fantastic place with its challenges, but they're so understanding of my work-life balance, my family situation. I love the people I work around. I go to a great church. I have a great faith. I have great people around me, family, friends. I've got resources if I want to push on in business or what have you. I've got opportunities with public speaking. Um, I've found a connection with Warren through the Fearless Speaking Academy, and that's opened me up to so many other people. People like Tracy, people like Nana. 2 3 months ago, I didn't even know these people, and now they're telling me how I'm helping them, and I'm networking. And I've got so much to be grateful for. I've got so much to be grateful for, and I need. Yes, there are challenges, work-life balance in terms of me time, being a dad, being a husband, sharing myself with people. Um, so we all have challenges. We all have challenges. Um, but for me now, it's about those next steps forward. Those um, I've never really seen myself as a leader. There's always been most jobs I've been in. There've always been opportunities to take on a team leader position, manager's position, and I've always said no, thank you. I always said no, thank you. I don't want to take on responsibility for other people. Part of it is my personality, because I care about people, and back before I moved up to Ipswich, I was a workaholic in terms of I never wanted to take work home with me. So when I left work, it was that, but I'd work all hours until I got to a position where um, I was satisfied with it, and I'd leave. And that would involve me working long hours. And if we add people into that mix, people are not robots, they're not figures. They're all different. You've got to manage your emotions, dynamics. I'd never come out of the office. I care too much about people, wanted to see people do well and do better. Um, but when you become a parent, you're a leader. Uh, my marriage with my wife, we're both leaders together. We need to push each other. We need to pick each other up. We need to know when to say, challenge each other in a right, loving way. And whether I like it or not, I'm a leader. I'm a leader to my children. They watch what I do far more than what I say. Um, and in Facebook lives, people are being impacted by them. So how is it I become how is it a leader? What kind of leader do I want to be? I probably want to be someone who leads by example. I want someone to look at me and say, "Oh, I like what he does. I would like to model what he does. I like to be a role model rather than your usual people in the entertainment industry, in yeah, and in the entertainment industry. I want people to be able to see me maybe in a business sense or as a family man, a normal guy, whatever normal means, and just to have a role model. Mentoring is definitely something that I will be involved with. Mentoring and education. Um, um, I feel like I can have an impact on people's lives. I've spoken into the lives of some people at work. We have some fantastic people at work, but I feel they're being worn down by frustrations or things not going to plan or managers not understanding them. So I observe a lot. You can call it being nosy. I've always been inquisitive, and I see things, I observe things, and I feel there's a responsibility. Not being arrogant at all, but if I feel I can add a word or say, "Look, I think you're doing great at what you do. I admire what you do. I watch you from afar, and I see what you do, and I admire it, and keep going." And the thing that frustrates me more than anything is when people have got a passion for something, like a real gift or passion. My passions are kind of different. My passions come through frustrations, and education is a frustration for me, the system. So that's what I'm going to use to fuel me to make the changes that I feel are necessary. But there's some people who have got so creative, and they could do things like that all day long, but they're not doing anything with it. And I'm not saying just because you have a passion you can make a business, you can make a living, but why not? My cousin was a DJ in music. He grafted for 20 years, and now he's on the curriculum in Northern Ireland teaching DJ and music to children. So it definitely is possible, not without hard work, not without sacrifice. But why not? We're only here for one life. Why not have a go at doing something which is your passion or what you love doing? See how you can monetize it. Why not have a go? You know what I mean? This is not a practice one. Once we're gone, we're gone. So do you know what I mean? Don't um, what's the word? Don't confine yourself just to what you're doing, the job you're doing, and thinking that's it. That's all there is to life. No, take where you are, take stock of where you are, and look how you can move on. And in this country, there are loads of resources to help you in. And if you're struggling, give me a message, give me a call, and I'll see if I can't help you. I'll put you in touch with someone that can. I said it yesterday about resources. The most important one is here in your attitude, the way you think about something. I can go into my job and think, oh, it's the same old job, computer system's not working, blah blah blah, this, blah blah blah, that. End of the day, one of the founders of the business, has stepped down after 10 years. If it wasn't for his and other directors' vision, I would not even have a job to go to. So how about I say I'm grateful for the job I have. It might not be what I want to do, but what can I do to improve the situation? What can I do? At the end of the day, they're paying me to do a job. What can I do to be the best of the job? What kind of show? They look at me and say, yeah, he really, you know what I mean? He really cares. He really adds. He really has a passion to do well in his job. And what about inspiring the other people around you? Yeah, it wasn't a million. It wasn't a million years ago. We had a credit crunch, and people were fearful for their jobs. So be grateful for your job. If you don't like it, take steps to change it, but live in the moment and make the most of it. Yeah. I went without a team leader. My team went without a team leader for nearly 6 months. Yeah, and we moaned and whined about it. Yes, of course we did. But I turned it around and said, look, what can I do to make the most of it? Where can I take a lead? And where can I take a step up? And if other people wanted to do it, I would have stepped back. But where can I take a step out to make the best out of this situation? There's always make the best out of your situation. If you come with that attitude, if you accept that rubbish is going to happen in your life, and not moan and whine and act like you got a chip on the shoulder, rubbish will happen. There will be trouble in this world, it says in the Bible. There will be trouble. So if you know there's going to be trouble at some point, how do you prepare for it? What are you going to deal with it? Don't act like, oh, why is everything happening to me? And this is life. Do you know what I mean? It's not plain sailing. We are not robots. We have emotions. Things happen. People die. People get sick. You could get sick. There's wars. There's a lot of bad things going on in this country. In this world? What can we do to bring goodness into this world? And on that note, one of my children's crying, so I've got to love you, leave you. But thank you for joining. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. The Shy Man signing out for the week. Take care.